Hey guys, welcome back. This is a little bit of a different video today. Since it's Thanksgiving in the US and most people are staying out of the market because it's a bank holiday, I'm not going to be trading, so I'm just going to do a quick backtesting video before my FX Replay subscription runs out because I know a lot of people have requested it. I just picked a random week, first week of October, since I noticed we didn't backtest that yet. So let's get into it. If you've never watched me trade before, it's basically dodgy strategy, but I'll show you my sheet that I go off of for entries and stuff. Okay, so first of all, on the right we have the 4-hour time frame here on NQ, and on the left we have the 1 minute, which I'm going to be switching through to look for entries. So the 4 hours here just to get a higher time frame look at things and see the higher time frame for value gaps. And I'll be taking trades between 9:30 EST and 2:30 EST. Normally, this would be a trade because we have a fair value gap inversed here that's over 4 points. We're bouncing off this fair value gap here, and we swept liquidity and liquidity here. So this would be a trade if the entry candle didn't already sweep this internal high here, because this is the point where I would have went break even regularly. So because of that, I won't be entering this trade. So let's see what happens anyway. Yeah, I would have got stopped out on that one, so just an example. And here's that sheet if you guys want to pause or screenshot or anything. But I will pull this up in the future as well. So right here, we're bouncing off of this 15-minute fair value gap. We inverse this fair value gap right here on the 2-minute after sweeping this liquidity. We do have relative equal lows below. So this follows my rules because this fair value gap's over 6 points, over 4 points. So this would meet the requirements here in option 1. Let's enter this. Risk him 1%. My break-even point is here around 0.3R. So right now I would literally be break-even now. But as you can see, I messed up the 2-minute candle. It wasn't fully closed because FX Replay is weird. So if it had closed here, I would have went break-even right here. So we would still be at break-even right now. Same scenario. I'll move this up to make the profit more realistic if we hit it. But right now I would definitely be 50% off. Stops to break-even. Pretty close, but stopped out for a partial here before eventually reaching TP. And here's an example of why I wouldn't get in this trade here. This is a 1 minute for value gap here and a 1 minute for value gap here. If I was waiting for this one to be inversed, I would have entered here, but I'm always looking for the highest time frame for value gap in this leg, up to 5 minutes. I don't go above the 5-minute time frame for entries. So if I go up to the 2-minute, we have this fair value gap. Go up to the 3-minute, there's no fair value gap. So I would go back to the 2-minute and I would wait for this to be inversed, which as you can see that it wasn't, so no entry. This trade here is a little bit sketchier. We do have a liquidity sweep of these lows. I would call this decent momentum up through, and we're delivering from this fair value gap. The inverse fair value gap is 13 points, so this is valid, so I do have to enter it, although I don't like how we just swept these highs and we have these like engineered lows here. So I'm going to be going break even at 0.27R right at the top of this wick here if we reach it. And I like to aim for some level around 2 to 3R. So if this level here was 2 to 3R in profit, then it would be here, but that's just how I kind of do it. So let's see, break even here. Okay, so we're break even now already. Okay, so break even. Did end up almost stopping me out before going to TP. There was also this setup right afterwards, delivering out of this 1 minute fair value gap, swept this liquidity, inversed this 1 minute, but since there was a 2-minute here, even though it's very small, I probably would have waited for that and only taken it if there was equal highs above, which actually there is. So this is actually a valid trade, and it goes with scenario 2. IFVG under 4 points, liquidity sweep, good momentum, delivery from fair value gap, and good drawn liquidity. So I don't know if I'm going to get canceled, but I'm going to replay and take that trade because it was a valid trade after my break even. So just because I missed it doesn't mean I should sacrifice the stats that are more realistic, because in live time probably would not have missed that. So this is kind of what the trade would look like, and I'd probably be going break even. I don't like to go break even above like 0.8R. So being realistic here, I would probably go break even. It's hard to say. Let's just say here at 0.5. 0.5. Take 50% off at 1-to-1. And the rest would hit break even, which is totally fine. And here's a valid trade I just missed that would have lost. delivering out of this fair value gap here, swap liquidity, inverse this fair value gap, which is over 4 points. This point is break even. Stop a good distance below the inverse fair value gap. So totally valid trade, although it's sketchy because we're also in this fair value gap. I would have taken this in the live market, so valid loss. Leave an equal highs above here. So if we were to get a short here, I wouldn't be taking it. Okay, for this trade here, we're rejecting off the bottom of this 30-minute fair value gap here. And the highest time frame inverse fair value gap is on the 1 minute. We have the equal highs above here. Good momentum through after sweeping liquidity. So I would take this. Stop loss near the bottom here of this move. Targeting the equal highs since that's between 2 and 3R. And a good target. Break even here at 0.62R, which is actually kind of high for me. But we'll see what happens. 0.62. Okay, so break even now. Well, I would have taken half off at 1-1, but we'll take half off now. And I'd probably take off another 25%, around 75% of the way to final TP. So I would, in the live market, I would probably take off 25% of what's left, which would be 50% here. So let's just see if we can hit the equal highs. Yes, okay, so that's a nice setup. Let's keep going. Just left equal lows here. So not my favorite looking delivery from fair value gap, but it is one regardless, so I will count it. And on the 3 minute, we have this large fair value gap here. This almost looks like PDI, pre-distribution inversion or whatever, but anyways, this would be option 1 and option 2 combined because we have a good draw on liquidity below. Probably go break it even here at 0.43R. Final TP down here, 0.43. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're break even. Take 50% off here. Probably take a little bit more off at this low. Okay, so I would have taken some more off here. And let's see if we can get to final TP. Looks like the rest will be break even, that's okay. This is a valid trade here. We're delivering off the 30-minute fair value gap right here. The highest time frame inverse is the 5-minute, which is 9 points, so we're good. We swept liquidity, good momentum. Probably just target this high here, but go break even. I'll probably go break even around 0.5R here. So let's just see what happens. This doesn't look the best, but follows my rules. 0.5. Break even, and that was a break even trade. Oh man. Okay, guys, that was after session anyway. I'm so dumb. Oh well, break even doesn't matter. Okay, on to day 2 here. Okay, this looks a bit weird, but there's equal highs right here. We just swept liquidity. We inverse this super tiny fair value gap. We have a good draw on liquidity above, but since the fair value gap is so small, as you can see here, it needs all 4 of these things, but it doesn't have the delivery from the fair value gap. So I can't take this trade, although this is about a 66% win rate from my testing. But for the highest quality trades, I won't take it. And it would have won here. Okay guys, I think we got another valid trade here. We're delivering out of this 5-minute here. Just rejected it. Our highest time frame inverse is the 1 minute, and it is over 4 points. So we can take this and probably put our stop loss about here. Go break even at 4.4 risk reward. Targeting this down here because we do have equal lows. So I might as well target this, but I doubt we'll hit that. 0.44 break even. Okay, well I didn't get a chance to take partials and maybe that was news, but whatever. Take 50% off. And just let the rest go. Okay, well, that was lucky, guys. But nice. Because the IFVG is so small here, we would need equal lows or something below for drawing liquidity, but we don't have that. So this is one of those lower probability trades. And it still would have at least got a partial. Dang. See how price just totally rejected this fair value gap here. Maybe there was a short on the 30-second or something, but for now I'm not trading the 30-second. Too much commotion, too much confusion. This would have been a trade delivering out of the 15 minute. We inversed this fair value gap right here, which was big enough, but the candle that would have entered me in already hit the place where I would have went break even. So because of that, could not take this trade. This here, I just replayed it because I'm going to take this trade. It's a 15-minute delivery here. Inverse this fair value gap, but we have a fair value gap right below, so I'd be going break even super soon if I did decide to take this trade super early. So probably right there for stop loss around 1 or 2 risk reward, and we'll just enter this. So right now I'd be break even. Moved break even. Wow. Okay, let's just take 50% off here around 1 to 1. And see if we can, okay, break even. Nice. Okay, right away we have this trade here, delivering out of this fair value gap. We inverse this, but we also inverse this, and that's the highest time frame fair value gap. So this is a pretty weird looking one, but I would still take this, and I would just go break even super soon again, so probably right here. Low risk trade, could still lose, but stop loss probably pretty far up here above this fair value gap. I don't know. So break even is at 0.23, and we're going to target down here at the bottom for a good RR. Actually, like right here, and LRL here, which is why this trade looks a little bit better. So 0.23 R. 0.23, risking 1%. Let's just see. Okay, break even. And I would have had 50% off here. Probably take another little bit off here. And surprisingly full TP, wow. Nice. So that was a good trade. Just left equal highs right here. So hopefully looking for a long here soon. Okay, so I just seen another trade here. We're delivering off of this 30-minute fair value gap. Go down to the 1 minute here. We got equal highs here, equal highs up here. So this also looks like PDI again. Inverse this fair value gap, which is pretty small, under 4. But since we do have a good draw on liquidity, good momentum, liquidity sweep, and a delivery from fair value gap, this is valid and I have to take this. So stop loss probably down here. Let's target these equal highs up here, although unlikely. And break even, let's see, a little bit risky here. Break even at 0.57, I'd say. So 0.57. Let's see what happens. Wow, lucky with the stop loss placement, but break even now. Okay, I would have taken partials here because we hit 1 to 1, but I'm not going to replay or anything. We're good. Kind of as a break even. This trade here would have been valid, bouncing off this 3-minute fair value gap, inverse this 1 minute, but because the fair value gap is so small, under 4 points, 1.25, I need a good draw on liquidity below, which I don't have, so I can't take this trade, and it ended up losing anyway, but I just figured I'd show you guys that because I recently implemented those new rules. On to Wednesday here, guys. Okay, I already know what happens here, but I replayed. We do have this fair value gap right here that just got inversed after we delivered off of the 3-minute fair value gap here. So I would be going break even right here at this high, stop loss down here, targeting at least 1 to 2. But as you can see, we just dump immediately. So valid losing trade that I would have taken. Okay, here's another trade we delivered out of this 2-minute fair value gap. We have this fair value gap here. So let's see if it inverse. Okay, it does inverse on this here. So pretty hard to tell that it did close below, but pretty strong momentum, and it was a close below. So I will have to enter this trade. Stop loss probably up here. Break even. Let's go break even at 0.5, I'd say. And final TP, I guess down here is good. So 0.5. Let's see. Okay, so this would be 50% off here. And we didn't need a good draw on liquidity because it's over 4 points. So the rest stopped at a break even and TP. Okay, whatever. Okay, guys, right after there's another trade, honestly. Right here, we're delivering out of this 2-minute, which has never been inversed yet. That's why it's valid. And go down to the 1 minute. We inverse this right here. Now, this fair value gap is valid because it's over 4 points. I'll just stretch it out like this to cover 2 of them, and probably put the stop down about here. Final TP up here is probably the best, and break even, let's do right here, 0.42. 0.42, let's see. Okay, break even right away, it's good. It's definitely 1-to-1. Take 50% off here. Take another 50% off here to be realistic. And surprisingly, wow, okay. TP hit. Somehow we have another trade already. So we're delivering out of this 15-minute, 30-minute fair value gap here. And on the 5-minute, we have this inverse fair value gap here. Actually multiple, but just like last time, we'll do this. Now, this looks like a good trade to a lot of people, but to me, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe it's because of how far we are from a good break-even point, but I probably put my stop here. Break even, honestly, I'm going break even at 0.5 to try to be more safe. And is there equal lows or something below here? No, so I'll just target a swing point around 2 to 3R, 2.5R here. And yeah, let's just try this and see. 0.5. There's something about those trades. I don't know if it's because I traded supply and demand before, but like maybe it's this thing here, demand zone. It just sketches me out now, but yeah, unfortunate. It's fine. I can't take this trade because we don't have a good draw on liquidity below, and this fair value gap is under 4 points. But we're delivering off of this. We inverse this fair value gap. We do have those equal highs above as well. They're pretty far now. So this break even is pretty safe, around 0.17. But let's just see what would have happened. Okay, so just break even. Another trade here. We just reacted off of this fair value gap here, pretty small. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure there's a higher time frame one, 5-minute one here. But anyways, then we inverse this fair value gap, which is way over 4 points. Would enter here. Usually I'd be putting my stop like way down here near the bottom, but I see so many people put it like here that I'm gonna go in the middle somewhere. So break even point 0.2, let's say, which is really close for me, but it's fine. We have equal highs above right here and up here at the top right there. So let's take this, aiming for those up there and see what happens. It's probably gonna be a break even, most likely, obviously. 0.2. Okay, break even set. Yeah, okay, so break even. If I didn't go break even there, I would have went break even like here anyway, so we're cool with that. And that's the end of Wednesday. Okay, here we're on Thursday. Okay, we're rejecting this fair value gap immediately. There was this trade here, this short, that would have hit break even, and there's this long right here that might be valid. We'll see. We're delivering off of this small fair value gap here. We just inversed this, which is 3.5 points, so we need a good draw on liquidity above to take this, which there is none close, so I won't be taking this, but break even would be right here. Break even. Just left these two equal lows here. Okay, we do have this trade here, delivering off of this 5-minute fair value gap here. Inverse this 3-minute, which is 4, so that's good. But we also have these equal lows below. Stop loss, probably around here. Break even point, probably right here at 0.4. TP 2.5 is fine. 0.4. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's a break even trade. Cool. On to Friday. Okay, so horrible price action on Friday. There's like no trades. It's crazy. As you can see, guys, the reason I removed one of the losses from the stats is because one of the losses, quote unquote, was actually a break even. So that's why. Honestly, not very happy with those stats. Pretty bad stats for what I'm used to compared to my other back testing sessions, but gives you a rough idea of the strategy and stuff. 9 wins, 4 losses, 5 break evens. This RR is not accurate. It's probably more like 1.4, 1.5 maybe, something like that, because this counts my max RR reached in a trade or something. It doesn't know that I'm taking partials and stuff. I'll just go down through the stats quickly for you guys in case you want to see anything here. But yeah, hopefully if you guys didn't understand it before, you understand how I trade a bit better. And if you want to see me trade this strategy or try my best to trade this strategy in the live market every day, definitely consider subscribing, because I post every single day. And I'll see you on Monday for day number 82 of trading futures every day until they become profitable. Thanks for watching, guys.